April Fool's. I'm kind of.
Yeah. No, we should
Keep
just.
talking. No, you're fine.
We should put up.
Wrong pocket.
I can't reach that one.
Put up
So I'm kind of scared to make any announcements about news. So here's a very tepid fandom nonsense. Oh, and the first word too, and all that shit.
Yeah. Dude, we were singing the Sanford and Son theme earlier.
We were.
And I was in an accounting class in the one semester of community college of which I attended. In this class, we had fictional accounting firms. Ours was named Sanford and Son Accounting. Whenever we would beat the other class, because that's what accounting is about, it's competition. Mm-hmm. And whenever we would beat the other classmates in our group as Sanford and Son, we would all sing the theme song. It's one of the nerdiest things I've ever done.
And it's up there for you.
I really don't believe that.
What, that it's
feel
one
like
of the
you've
nerdiest
probably
things?
Done way nerdier things.
Today, or just in general?
Both.
Yes.
Well, we did go to the planetarium today.
Did you?
Yeah.
We did. I had to go for my classes for school.
There was this really neat preview of a laser show they did at the end, which we should go see a laser show.
You never take me to a lasertarium.
I'm not dating you, Aaron. Also, she took me. She
That's
treated
true.
me all day.
We also went and watched Bison.
We did. We watched him.
You never take me to
In the
watch Bison.
planetarium?
No, we went out,
You're
went
getting
out to that weird
inventive.
area and only got out of the car, and I was freaking out because there's signs that say, don't get out of the car.
The bison are fine. They're not like super aggressive.
Why would I say don't get out of the car?
Because they're bison and they will kill you if they feel like it.
Bison.
They're not like pets. You can't just walk up and hug them.
And
Although you might want
could
to.
totally get a bison pet. If you raise a bison, you could totally have it as a pet. You could have anything as a pet if you raise it. It's just like children. Works the same.
Sure, you could have anything as a pet, but the degree to which they would be effective as a pet and not murder you is shockingly disparate between breeds.
But they're laser shows. Right now they have the Zodiac constellation ones where they tell you about the Greek myths, but they're going to have a Pink Floyd one coming up soon.
Right.
And now I'm interested.
Yeah, Pink Floyd laser shows. It's been a thing since the beginning of time. When it was first released.
Okay, all right. So you're like, no.
I'll pick it up.
You better.
So one thing I want to read real quick before my phone dies.
We're indoors. It doesn't make sense.
You see you're in Gryffindor and it doesn't make sense?
And I said, we're indoors and it doesn't make sense, Aaron. I always speak
Indoor moon?
perfectly audibly.
So,
how many lives can no one make in one night? Let's find out on this week's Fandom Nonsense.
You'd be surprised.
so Disney is evaluating Fox's in-development X-Men movies. Now that Disney's acquisition of Fox is complete, the X-Men can finally be part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. With the mutants in Marvel's first family under the direction of Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios, it's still unclear what will happen to the in-development movies that were in the works at 20th Century Fox. Speaking with Variety, producer Simon Kinberg revealed that Disney is taking a look at what had been done before making any final decisions. All the movies at Fox are being evaluated, Kinberg said. I love the idea of Channing playing Gambit. I think we have a great script for it, and I think it's a role he was born to play. It's a character I grew up loving, and I know the fans love. So I suspect. I hope it will happen. There will be a lot of mixing and merging now, and I'm all for it and excited to see.
He can do a really good, like, Cajun sounding accent.
Yeah, he's
good at that.
he has an impressive range.
Yeah.
Compared to what you might assume.
I mean, most of the things you see him in are either like Mike or fucking, or is that what it's called?
No, that's a very different movie. That's a movie about
It's a boy. It's Lil Bow. Is it Lil Bow Wow or
Lil Bow Wow. It's one of the Lils.
I'm pretty sure it was Bow Wow.
It's one of the first Lils that were actually Lil before Lil became anybody.
They find a magic pair of Nikes that are Nikes. No, they're Jordans.
They're Jordans, and he becomes like Mike.
Wait, was Jordan originally a part of Nike and then he had his own company, or did he just start his own
Jordan
company?
was sponsored off of Nike.
Yeah.
Whenever he first got his thing, and then he got his own shoe brand.
Nikes, right?
Right.
Yeah, then he got his own shoe brand.
Yeah.
Right. So it like split off and diverged.
What is it, Mike XXL? What's it called?
No, okay, so he finds the Nikes, and then he's...
We're not talking about that movie, no.
Yes, we are. We're fucking doing it now. Like, he finds the Nikes and he's imbued with the powers of the goat. The greatest of all time.
Yeah. No, he's empowered with the abilities of an actual goat.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's nothing in the rulebook that says a goat can't play basketball.
Dude, goats can walk at fucking 90-degree angles on mountains.
I thought you were going to say 90 miles per hour. Yeah, but no, that's not what we were talking about. What was it, Mike?
Like Mike?
No, it was the other Mike.
Fucking Channing Tatum. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, the
Magic
most-
Mike.
Yeah, Magic Mike. There
Yeah,
we go.
Mystic
Most I've
Mike.
seen him go out of character is in Sirius 7 or Sleuthie 7. It's the Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
With fucking
Sinister?
There we go.
Is it the Sinister?
It makes more sense than Sirius, I feel like.
Yeah.
They were pretty serious, and there were 7 of them. There's actually more than 7 of them, but there only ended up being 1 of them.
Some of them made jokes.
Yeah. I mean,
They were really
Channing
dark
Tatum's
jokes.
character was already pretty funny.
Yeah.
But he does a good accent pretty well, like close to a Cajun already in that video. Well, it's very Western, but
That video.
it goes down. Shut up.
We made it back to Cajun now.
Yeah, we have. Gambit, Channing Tatum, it's possible.
I'm interested. It's curious to me that that's the one that they are like hitching themselves on.
Fucking star power, man.
Yeah.
They got the tates. They got them sweet taters coming in.
But surely they could cast somebody even more high profile than Channing Tatum in a better role than Gambit to start. I mean, I'm not against Gambit. I'm not against Channing Tatum as Gambit. I'm just wondering if that's the right move as the first thing making as a bridge between these two worlds. If it's what they do.
Was the movie already in production under Fox, and now it's just being acquired by?
It kept getting pushed back, so I'm not really sure.
Okay.
The start date and everything, and the writers and everything kept getting renegotiated and all of that. So I'm honestly not sure what the status of the movie was at the time of acquisition.
Okay. Well, I think if that's the case, then all of these movies that are going to be switching over, it's just it's possible that maybe Channing Tatum and this story was just the most easily transferred of all of them.
Yeah.
I can't imagine why else they would choose this, because Gambit, I know, of the X-Men, is probably not one of the better known ones.
Right.
But he is.
Gambit?
Yeah.
Gambit's like everybody's favorite underdog.
I'm not saying the Gambit doesn't have popularity. I'm saying that he's not one of the first things you associate with X-Men.
Really?
Yeah.
Growing up, Gambit was the numero, everybody loved Gambit. Everybody wanted a piece of Gambit. The Cajun card slinging zombie.
For why though?
Just because he was cool.
You could say the same thing about Wolverine, or you can't say it about Cyclops because he's
fans of
bullshit.
X-Men love Gambit.
Yeah.
But he's not Cyclops or Jean Grey or Xavier or somebody or Beast or somebody. He's not someone or even Wolverine, someone who is kind of cemented in the general cultural consciousness of X-Men. He's only been in one movie, and it's not really been that good. So he's not really what people think of. I would have probably think Cyclops, Beast, and as much as I would hope not, probably Wolverine before I'd see Gambit. But maybe not. The people coming up now and the people writing these movies are contemporaries and stuff. Mm-hmm. So they pull from a lot of the same stuff that we do. So Gambit is probably a lot more an important character to the writers of these new wave of X-Men movies.
I mean, with having 2 waves of the exact same stories being told in X-Men movies, it's the best idea to start showing off new material, such as Gambit, such as giving him his own film, showing off his own backstory. going in and showing like other smaller villains even. Like they need to start bulking up on the smaller stuff. Like, you know, like they started out the MCU started out with a way lesser known character of Tony Stark. He was not that popular compared to other characters. Way nowhere near compared to the X-Men, compared to Spider-Man, compared to Captain America. Tony Stark was a small timer compared to those characters.
He still had like toys and shit you could buy. I remember like
every fucking character does though.
I mean, but like you can go out and buy like a Bishop toy, and that'd be weird.
Yeah, you can. I had a Bishop toy growing up.
I mean, me too. No, okay, that's a bad example. What I'm saying is, it's Iron Man still because of his like, I don't know. He's
not the first character you would have expected somebody to make a movie.
He's the first superhero. No, I wouldn't have thought that either. That's not what I'm saying. Though. I'm not saying he's like on the highest echelons of Marvel. I'm just saying like, he's B tier. He wasn't like C tier. He was
C.
Nah, dude. Cause
the X-Men are B. Wolverine.
The Avengers.
The specific X-Men. I don't think the Avengers really counts as every single one of them being A tier.
Right, but no, I wasn't saying that. I'm saying he's B tier because he was part of the Avengers in the main cast. You know, it's like he's probably on a not similar to the Hulk, just like a step under the Hulk, I would say, which I would consider Hulk to be A tier because he like transcends
he's definitely
comics.
A tier.
Yeah,
he's one of the most well-known Marvel characters ever.
I mean, it's really hard to qualify this with having 12 years or whatever of these movies.
Right.
The paradigm has been shifted to where
it has.
Iron Man and Captain America and Thor are A-list characters now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, before I would say the big three would be Wolverine, Spider-Man, and the Hulk.
Yeah.
And I would honestly
say Captain America, Spider-Man, and the Hulk.
Cap kind of.
Cap has been like. Cap was a running mate with Superman back in the fucking 40s.
Cap's like big peak was in the golden age of comics.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
he's interesting in the fact that he's like one of the only Marvel characters to carry over from the golden age. There's pretty much a hard reset in 621 with the Fantastic Four, with the exception of a few characters like him. But yeah, he really wasn't much of anything important or of notoriety until the movies kind of brought him back. And it's not necessarily just the movies.
Right.
Like he had some good stuff in the
Civil
90s.
War.
Yeah.
And the whole death of Cap.
Yeah.
He's important to the universe. He's very important to the universe, and that way he's a Superman parallel. But I don't think in the
I wouldn't try to say it was a parallel.
Yeah, no, I know, but I'm just saying that like he didn't really have the like impact. I think that Superman kind of held that.
Oh
on his
yeah,
own.
no, nothing could beat Superman. That's right. Nice silent pause there, guys. I agree with it.
I think none of us just wanted to dive in after something like that.
Yeah, none of you want to. I'll argue that shit for days.
No,
that's the most arguments I have on social media. Any social media, Reddit, Facebook, Twitter, doesn't matter. Superman.
Now, in an ensemble, I think Gambit and a bunch of new class would be interesting. I just don't know if I'm really that. I don't know if it's a good idea for that a solo film to be the right way to go.
If I had my druthers, it'd be an Iceman movie, but I know that won't happen.
Iceman would suck on his own solo film.
Why?
Because what he did, his powers alone aren't enough to just make a movie on his own.
You could. That's bullshit. You know it.
No, it's not.
You could.
That's why Black Widow doesn't have her own movie. Black Widow has a huge story that I believe could make her own movie.
She absolutely could have her own movie though, and it'd be awesome.
Isn't it? It's in the slate, isn't it? My phone's dead, so I can't check.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Are they actually gonna do it? Because that's something that they've been talking about having on there since like around Phase 1. Was that how they were gonna do a Black Widow movie, but never have?
It was announced with like not Homecoming, Far From Home, and the.
I remember that. I remember that.
Yeah.
But what are they gonna do with her?
Probably any of the fucking Black Widow stories. I don't know any of them, but they fucking exist, you know?
But most of the stuff that she's already been through was the biggest part of her story.
The Red Room thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's had other encounters, certainly.
Yeah, but...
We could have her take out, or, you know, maybe there's some kind of, like, modern Hydra initiative to fuck up.
Hydra's gone. Hydra's gone after Winter Soldier.
So is
I'm
S.H.I.E.L.D.
guessing you haven't seen.
So is S.H.I.E.L.D.
S.H.I.E.L.D.'s not really gone.
That's what I'm saying.
S.H.I.E.L.D. got put under wraps. Hydra is gone.
Why?
Hydra's dead.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
You could have a MODOK story and have her be the protagonist.
Apparently, they still haven't found a director because they want a female director.
What? What? What does it matter?
I mean,
it makes perfect sense.
I guess.
Yeah, because like the only thing I can find on here besides that a trailer was released apparently back in June of 2018. It just says Hellboy director Neil Marshall had expressed interest in directing the film, but was not approached as Marvel is seeking a female director.
I mean, Wonder Woman and Captain Marvel both. I mean, it's the same thing with the Jordan Peele thing. You know, if you can get a director that can actually speak to the language, the language that you're trying to speak with the film, yeah.
Yeah, nah.
I mean, hopefully that doesn't mean it gets delayed for another 3 years, because I think that a Black Widow movie would be good. Black Widow is probably one of my favorite parts of. I finally watched Winter Soldier.
You like it?
I do. I'll get into that in a second. But she's one of my favorite parts of that movie and of at least the first two Avengers movies. I don't think she has really much to play in Infinity War to really impact the movie that much.
You guys know where the museum is? I'm here to pick up a fossil. Talking about Cap.
Character-wise, I really like Black Widow, but I'm not a huge fan of
Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, her
really?
performance. I don't know, something about her.
I feel like that was the perfect role for her.
Yeah,
honestly.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. Like,
I put it on comparable levels of her portrayal of goddamn. Oh, what was it? That anime that she
Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah.
Oh no
dude.
way! She did Ghost. She was Black Widow way before she was Ghost in the Shell,
and way better.
That's true, but I'm saying I'm comparatively. Anytime she delivers a line, I feel like she's got this overly deliberate seriousness. Kind of turns on itself and seems goofy.
Now, I can agree to that to a point. Her eyebrows piss me off sometimes.
Yeah, it's sometimes, anytime she's in a scene, she's always doing this, and she's always I mean, I get it, she's a serious character, but at the same time, it feels like she's kind of delving too deep into that singular aspect, and whereas in the comic, she's got a little bit more flexibility.
Well, I mean, you see her go all over the place as Black Widow. You see her be like a helpless woman, and you see her be...
You see her act.
Yeah.
As those
and
things.
That's what Black Widow's supposed to do. She's an actress. I mean, not above all else, but she's a...
Yeah, she has to be covert and things like
that.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about as herself, as Black Widow. I don't know. It's really just the line reads. It's really just her delivery.
No, I get it on not a lot, but some of her lines. I can definitely agree with that. I've watched those movies probably way more times than I should have. And yeah, no, I definitely feel that. There's a lot of different lines that I see in there that are poorly read. Not just from her though.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of a thing in general with the Marvel movies. I find that of the serious lines, they're generally.
I mean,
it's like attempted gravitas in a context that it really doesn't allow for it.
Yeah. I mean, when you look at it enough, a lot of the lines just sound weird and wrong. Yeah. It's just like looking at a word so long and then not understanding why it's spelled that way.
I guess so.
It's kind of the exact same scenario.
I don't know. I'm not sure that my analysis is kind of influencing it that much because a lot of these movies I've only seen once and just have the interpretation based on single viewing. Mm-hmm. Infinity War was different because I felt like that was an important movie that I needed to see a bunch of times because it signified a bunch of different.
You see, I've just spent time watching all of these movies just to find all the connecting dots to make the big giraffe and stuff.
So we'll be back in a minute, and I'll give my 4, however long it's been, year late review of Winter Soldier, and we'll talk about some more
Have
more
you
stuff.
seen Winter Soldier?
I have not.
Yes.
You have?
Mhm.
Okay.
I'll try to avoid spoilers as much as I can.
At this
But-
point, it's
right.
fine.
which kind of gets into it. But first, here's the first word.
Red versus blue. Get
Man,
win.
yet again, going back to Donut and Wash, their dichotomy, the way they work with each other is just so good.
This bromance is growing.
Yeah.
Is Wash shooting Donut ever not going to be
I
funny?
don't know.
I mean,
it's like the fucking best every time.
We need to count. I know he got shot 3 times in the first or second episode. I want to know how many times he got shot this
I think it
episode.
was only twice.
Was it?
I think so.
Because he shot him once and said, I like your dedication to keep
Time
him.
travel.
That was the
Yeah.
last time that he got shot.
No, because Simmons walked away and then after they had already talked about it and like the real Donut and Wash went out, Simmons walked away and like Wash came to Donut and just switched out his rifle for the pistol and shot him.
I feel like this isn't the end, and we should just keep a count.
Oh yeah.
At the end of the season, we should just go back and do a count of all the times that Wash shot Donut.
What if Donut has to shoot Wash to like fix the timeline?
Oh fuck! Like what if they reach the Reds and Blues and they're like, hey, don't save Wash. You're gonna
Right.
the timeline. They're like, we
We
know,
can't.
we don't care. We're gonna save Washington.
Right.
And they're like,
And Donut-
shit. And then Donut has to.
Donut has to take the shot.
Yeah.
Right. Donut is who actually shoots Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I call it. I'm calling it now.
You're calling that I'm right? Don't call my calls.
I'm calling it.
That's a bullshit tactic, Aaron.
Nope. I've called it here first today, gang. Donut's gonna have to shoot Wash. Aaron said it first. Well, Nolan said
Fuck
it.
him to death. I said it.
Nolan set me up and I laid out the premise. Then Aaron called it.
Yeah, I called it. I 100% called it. Yeah. Do you disagree? Did I not just call it?
No. You're the least involved person.
I'm not involved in this at all.
Yeah.
Least involved person who gives a shit about it.
Ha,
Fair.
I called it. I just called. Nah, you're right though.
Oh my god.
Man, Donut yelling at Wash.
Yeah.
That was good.
He's apparently incapable of saying anything that isn't somewhat it's either he's saying something that is completely Tobias and can be interpreted as being the gayest thing that's ever been said, or he's giving a really emotional like appeal to what's happening.
I mean, the fact that he helped Wash understand what Carolina was trying to do to fix the problems
Right,
that she had made.
yeah.
Like,
Donut has some emotional intelligence for sure.
Yeah.
He kept tapping my foot on accident.
I didn't realize it was her foot. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry to you. I'm sorry to you. You can suck it. That was my fault.
Anyway, Donut's emotional intelligence.
There's an Amber Alert, apparently.
Yeah, he's right here.
Woo-hoo! Woo! Woo! Say goodbye to your girlfriend.
I'm not a child, though.
We'd have to. There, so many paradoxes would have to exist
Sorry.
in order for that timeline to play out, Aaron.
Funeral cannon!
But on the Carolina thing, whenever Donut said, this is the most tearful I've ever heard her voice. Second most, first most being like right now.
Man, how could Wash or Donut not hear Epsilon's voice?
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
they
That
did, but
bugged
they
me
like,
too.
talked about it later.
They didn't talk about his voice.
They said,
They
is it-
said that they suspected one of them that was in there was.
No,
I
he
thought
said,
he
he
said
said
isn't
Epsilon.
Epsilon
Did they
little
straight up say
Jenkinsy?
Epsilon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, how could you not just straight up call it out? Like, hey,
I mean,
Maybe there's.
they could have used him to help the Reds and Blues understand that they were caught in a time loop even easier. Motherfucker's not smart. He's just mischief.
Genkin's smart.
He's mischief. He's not smart.
He's existed for
Go back and watch the
millennia.
first episode. He's not smart. He barely made it. He barely made his way out of convincing Tucker that he knew Caboose's name.
Right, but he's existed for millennia.
His first way of figuring out, convincing Locust, I'm surprised. I don't think he convinced Locust. I think Locust knows that he's stuck in a time loop because of the knives comment.
The only thing that's important is that he just makes something different happen.
That's what's important. But these people are supposed to not figure out that they're stuck in a time loop. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, like,
How
when
would they
Locust did walk away and Santa was laughing maniacally like that and said, "Oh, I love my job," Locust was like,
Yeah, you
Like, he
see
even
Locust go. You see Locust stop and go. Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether or not he believes him.
No, it does matter.
No, because the timeline is altered based on what he said to him, regardless.
Yeah, but okay, cracks still made.
Right.
You're right.
Which
there.
is all Gankins is trying to do.
Yes.
So he's being.
But he's also not supposed to let the Reds and Blues, Locust, anybody else that's stuck in this time loop, know that that's happening because
Locust
they
hasn't
could
met
all
Santa
be.
before, has he?
Yeah, Locust. Obviously, he met Santa. That was a part of the time loop.
No. I mean, before then.
Before then,
Because
No.
he said, "Don't you want to know what?"
Right, but that's
that
the same
guy's-
encounter.
Right.
Felix
It's
is
just-
afraid of.
Yeah,
It's
he's
just a different
And
then-
version of that same
So
encounter.
if
Well, he's kind of
Gankins
like
shows
the
up
third
as
one as
Santa
well.
and he just always is
Yeah,
Santa,
but
that's what he did with all the timelines.
Locust
though.
was already. You saw Locust look
He,
back.
He really did. He looked back and
Like there was emphasis on it. There was super emphasis.
I'm saying
on
it's
it.
irrelevant because
It's not irrelevant. No, you're not understanding what I'm trying to explain to you. Okay.
Yes, I am. I get what you're saying. You're saying he's not being convincing when he's acting as these people, and you're thinking that's an example of him being dumb.
Oh no, that's not the entire thing I'm trying to explain.
What are you saying then?
Okay, all right. The Reds and Blues don't need to know that they're stuck in a paradox.
Right.
Gankins is making it very easy for them to figure out that they're in a paradox because
If he
he's
shows
not
up-
smart about what he's doing.
If
I
he
don't
shows
think
up at the
he
right
is,
time,
though.
also, what is the first thing they're going to assume? They're not going to be like, church doesn't sound right. I must be caught in an infinite time loop.
But
wherein
you've seen every other thing that's happened with them, like any other. Whenever Donut alone tried to convince them about it, whenever he first mentioned the Everwind in episode 2, they were like, Griff was the first person to be like, I don't understand it, but it kind of sounds right. Like, started to get into it, but then of course Sarge just shut up.
And plus, like, they're on rarely kind of friendly terms with Locust at this point. They're not killing each other on sight, so if, like, Locust knows something's up, runs into them, he may be able to trigger something else.
Right, but he's not going to just assume immediately because somebody's acting funny that they're caught in a time loop.
Right.
I'm not even saying that. I'm saying, like,
No.
him mentioning something, be like, this seems a little off, that they'd be like, you know what, that's right, maybe we should look into it.
I'm saying, like, they could use Gankins' ability to not be, or I guess lack of ability to be intelligent in what he's doing, to their advantage to show them that they're stuck in a time loop. He's making it easier for them to make that point proven.
But he's not. If he shows up in the right time in the timeline and acts as church throughout all of the time they're interacting with AI, he is the voice of church to them.
Right, he's been church this whole time.
Right. And if he shows up in any instance where somebody is an AI,
I feel like he's had to have ended up as more than just church in some of the different time loops that he's fucked over.
no, he's existing.
The only time we've seen him is as church, but you see there's way more cracks than
No,
what we've seen
No,
him do.
we're saying that in each of these divergent timelines, he is existing as all of the relevant AIs in the entirety of those fractured timelines.
He can only be an AI.
Right.
So
Right.
he can only be church.
Right.
Whenever
that's
they're
neat.
worthless.
Or Santa.
So
or,
they need to...
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
And-
That's nuts.
And this gets to the part that I'm really excited for is next week's episode because we're getting to explore Out of Mind and Recovery 1 and all of Washington.
I forgot
stuff.
about the end of that. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, seeing him at fucking... I forgot the name of that map.
I know, but it's one of my favorites too because
It's a DLC.
Yeah, because it's probably one of my favorite parts of
If any of
Dorothy
them still
Buchanan.
had AI implants, would Gankins be able to mess with that?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah. There was he would be able to jump into Delta.
Yeah,
That would be weird to see. Now I think we're gonna see.
but I think what you're saying is like, could he jump into Wash or Carolina or any of the Reds and Blues through their AI implants because he is just an AI.
He wouldn't be able to do Caboose because he has that helmet.
Right.
Is he able to exist as an AI, or does he have to occupy an AI that's already functioning?
I think it's occupy an AI that's already functioning.
Because if
I don't
it
think
wasn't,
it's just
I
an
think-
empty slot.
I was gonna say if it wasn't that the crazy guy who kept stealing all the AIs. What's his name?
Meta.
Yeah. If not, he could just find Meta and bring Meta back.
Oh shit, Genkin's running the meta.
Ooh, that would be stupid.
Dude, there's a timeline probably where the fucking meta wasn't beaten.
Oh, and it's most definitely a timeline where the meta wasn't beaten.
Right, that's what I'm saying. We
Man,
can see that explored.
RBB is starting to take on the same routes as fucking DC.
We've got a Crisis at Infinite Earths going on right now.
We really do. Like, it's kind of nuts, and I feel like maybe at the end of this we're gonna start back at the roots. Not Halo 1 roots. Is not what I mean.
Yeah, and then Superman will have less powers.
And suck, and then everybody start up a new Goku versus Superman argument.
I do think we'll see a return to some kind of status quo and probably as much of a reset as you can get. But I imagine it'll be something more along the lines of season 11.
Yeah.
You know, like
start just to be able to start anew and like give them a new story to go off of.
right.
Nolan.
You can't stop me, guys. Here we go.
End of the episode.
How are the workers jack up on your desk? And that's the first word. So, where to begin? It's interesting to watching a movie without ever getting to have the experience of seeing it for the first time. You know what I mean? Like because I knew, like all the important stuff, like that whenever Nick Fury got shot, that he wasn't dead, and
You knew all that already?
Yeah, I mean,
obviously,
right. I've seen movies after it. I've seen the fallout of this movie, and everything.
But the initial scene itself,
that's
right.
So seeing Nick Fury, that entire car scenario that he goes through is fucking intense.
It is, and that's the thing that like it really shows how well a movie stands on its own when you're detached from that. When you can't have that initial experience of like the shock of everything. It's like how well does it play in the scene?
Absolutely.
And I really enjoyed it.
The introduction of Falcon.
Yeah,
like the way they went about doing that too, like on your left.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so good. One of the things, there's one scene in that movie, and this is like a CinemaSins kind of critique. But
I thought of that whenever I watched it.
At the very beginning of the movie, or not the very beginning, but like whenever they go to the first thing that's going to start up into a fight sequence, Captain America jumps off a plane.
Yeah.
No parachute. Totally cool. Fine with that. It's Captain America. He can do that. It's fine. But he gets onto this boat and he starts beating the shit out of people silently.
Yeah.
There's this dude, he fucking chucks a knife to hit this guy's hand before he hits a fire alarm. The guy goes, ah! And like, people had to have heard this. People would have had to have heard his shield hitting other steel. And like all this different noise. Like that had to have.
Right.
Somebody would have been like, hey, you guys hear that?
Yeah.
But the other guy had to have been like, probably nothing. We're on a boat. Who would come out here? Iron Man? No.
What is it, the sea invading us? Quit being a dipshit.
That was my only real, like, big complaint.
Yeah. My only like big complaint about the movie, other than, just general, other than just general complaints I'd have about any Marvel movie, would be it does this
What's that for?
Aaron flipped him off.
Why did you call it out? It should have been subtle.
It does this.
That's on you. That's not me.
I'll take responsibility, but you guys shouldn't have called it out.
What were you saying, Zach?
It does this subversion thing with the theme in the beginning of the movie, where it sets it up to where, or at least it seems like it's setting it up to where the conflict is between Captain America, our Steve Rogers, and SHIELD, and the use of force and security versus freedom and all these things, and
Civil War, basically.
Yeah, and
it's building its way to it,
right?
And all of that just whenever we find out that SHIELD is infected by Hydra and all
since the first Avenger,
right.
And this is Tommy Lee Jones' fault.
Yeah,
Oh fuck, he's in that movie.
And it's interesting and it's fun and it's a great espionage movie, and that's the thing that I like about the cat movies. Like, as different as they are,
they're supposed to be more down to earth.
Well, they are. They're definitely more down to earth in a certain way, but they all know what they're trying to be. They all kind of fit into that broad genre of spy thriller, espionage, horror movie kind of thing.
Right.
And it works really well as a bridge between First Avenger and Civil War, which you wouldn't think you could find anything that could bridge that gap. Certainly better than Dark World bridges the gap between the first Thor and Ragnarok.
Oh God.
How'd you like seeing Bucky come in for the first time? Actually seeing his real first appearance in...
That's another thing that the whole not ever seeing it for the first time thing kind of impacted.
Yeah.
Was knowing how that was going to go. But the scenes between them, especially at the end,
at the end of the film?
Yeah. Were still really impactful.
Seeing him, like, he takes 3 bullets from Bucky, and he still, like, goes down there to be like, motherfucker, I am your friend.
Yeah.
I'm here till the end of the line.
Yeah.
Like, that shit hits so hard whenever I watched it.
Oh,
That's still, like, that rivals the first Avenger for me. In the first wave, the first Avenger, Captain America movie is my favorite out of all of them, by far.
Really?
It's so good.
I would probably agree with that.
It's so well done.
I was going to say, I think it's easily the best movie out of the first.
Something must have spoiled my viewing of this movie, because I haven't gone back to see it.
Like
and there must be something.
And what's your favorite first wave movie?
Probably the first Iron Man. If I was gonna.
Of course.
It's a good movie.
It is a
It's also a good movie.
It's a great movie.
I'm not arguing. I will never argue that. I love the first Iron Man movie.
And I think that probably First Avenger probably has more flaws in it, but I think it swings for something bigger than the first Iron Man movie does. The first Iron Man movie is pretty pedestrian.
That's true.
Like, it's pretty safe and it stays pretty
Serena,
pretty
favorite
grounded.
First wave movie?
I honestly haven't seen that many Marvel movies.
Oh, okay. Have you seen the first Thor?
No,
Have you seen the first Iron Man?
not fully.
Have you seen the first Captain America?
I've seen Avengers.
Okay, all right. Well, I tried. Is there anything else that's in the first wave?
I mean, I guess you can,
Howard the Duck.
Shut up.
I guess you can count fucking Norton's Hulk.
I haven't even
Yeah.
seen that. My grandparents
Can
won't
you?
watch Superman movies.
It's supposed
Like
to count.
superhero movies.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
Violent?
Stark is at the end of it.
That's true.
Okay, no, that makes sense. It does make sense.
But I was willing to
I mean, I
teens,
Yeah.
pre-teens.
I kinda
is what
don't.
was
Like, you should have been able to watch
Right.
some kind of violence.
Oh yeah, I was totally able to watch violence, just not those movies.
those movies.
There's violence there, which is fine because violence is everywhere. But that's gamma radiation going into violence. That's not real.
That's
you can't
Satan.
watch that.
I'd walk past the TV and they'd be watching. I'd be like, "What's that?" They're like, "No."
Oh.
Okay.
Why can they watch it but you can't? That's the biggest. Oh,
That's also not an answer.
yeah.
Phase 2 and 3 are a lot harder to pick. Phase 2 because they're not as good in Phase 3 because there's a lot of good movies in Phase 3 to pick from.
What's phase 2? Well, it's Guardians, Iron Man 2's still in phase 1, isn't it?
Yeah.
Iron Man 2 is also super good.
Mm-hmm.
Iron Man 2 shows off people that are in fucking Winter Soldier.
You mentioned that. It's been a long time since I've seen Iron Man 2.
All I remember is
Okay,
Whiplash.
remember bald dude that was on the boat.
Yeah.
Whenever he walks up to a senator, I think he's a senator or he's some form of councilman, and he walks up to him and he goes to shake his hand and he gives him a hug, and the guy gets up in his ear and he goes,
Yeah.
"Hail Hydra." That's the same guy that was trying to convince Tony Stark to hand over the Iron Man suit.
Okay.
Shit.
Same guy.
Damn.
And that same bald dude is in the Avengers movie. He's in the Avengers movie on the plane with everybody.
Damn, Baldy.
Yep.
Is this guy like fucking Agent 47 or some shit?
Nah, he didn't mean shit. That guy was so stupid. Another CinemaSins fucking stupid thing that I hated about that movie. I love Winter Soldier, but I hate this. Dude gets shot in the head shot in the head, and he falls down right in front of this bald dude. And then he goes, like I said, S.H.I.E.L.D. doesn't negotiate with terrorists. This dude is dead! He got shot in the head! He is dead!
And he's talking?
And the dude's not talking, he's dead.
I was going to say, what? What are you saying to me?
The bald guy says this to the dude after he just got shot in the head. It's like, he's surrounded by other people who have been captured, and he's just like, S.H.I.E.L.D. doesn't negotiate with terrorists. Yeah, good quip to the dead guy. Good job.
This guy's been going around murdering people. He's obviously not, like, completely just...
He doesn't murder people. That guy's no, bald dude's a pussy. Bald dude's just a tech. Bald dude has nothing to do with it.
He's complicit in situations in which people are being openly murdered.
Why are you going to talk to a guy who just got shot in the head?
Because he's fucking nuts, man.
All right, fair enough.
He's just trying to show how much of a badass he is.
I was gonna say, the guy's dead. It's not like he's gonna talk back.
Yeah.
That's his only option when he wants to talk. Talk to a dead guy.
Makes him feel like a cocky son of a bitch.
He gets the last word every time if you're saying it to a dead guy.
It's so unfair, though. I feel like I don't
That's the
ever want to
point.
die because I just know that somebody's going to like walk up and have the last word.
Right, they're like, Hail Hydra, Wow, wouldn't you be confused if that was like a politician's last words? Hail Hydra!
But no.
Shit, it's all real!
Another character that you see in Winter Soldier that carries on into a later movie. If you, I put Age of Ultron on Epsilon as well.
I've watched Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
Times, yeah.
But at the end, whenever they're trying to get the ships to go up into the air, and there's that one dude that the dude has the gun up to his head. He's like, put in the codes, get these ships up in the air.
Mm-hmm.
That dude is in Age of Ultron as a person who is one of the people working and keeping the ship up in the air.
Oh.
Like, no, it's just
So he followed through.
it's a cohesive world. Oh yeah, no, he said no. He didn't put those ships up in the air. He said,
Oh.
I can't do that.
So
He put a different ship up in the air, Nolan. He put a good ship in the air. He didn't put a Hydra ship that was going to kill every person that they ever thought
So he's
would
just
be bad.
discriminating on which ship should be in the air. That's
Yeah, a ship ran by Nick Fury is a lot better than a ship ran by Hydra.
that perspective, man.
In all, nobody's ever the bad guy, right?
What? No.
Not in their own mind.
Not in their own mind, sure, but what? I guess some people might actually be supporting a narrative in which they believe they're the villain, because that's the only way they can achieve gratification.
Thanos most definitely has that mindset. Like
No.
he understands that he understands that he's doing something that people don't agree with. No, he still thinks he's doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Right, that's the thing.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think anybody has the mindset that they're the villain. They just think that their ends justify their means.
Well, I mean,
I think some people who are very deeply
Joker?
disturbed. Yeah, Joker.
no, Joker just doesn't give a shit.
Joker believes he's the villain.
Yeah, he agrees with being the villain. No,
Yeah.
you're right. You're 100% right.
I think like some serial killers in real life also like think they're the manifestation of some evil entity or some shit like that.
I feel like a lot of
The
bad
depths of
people.
I think that people like the Joker or serial killers just kind of illustrate the point of if you have some sense of morality, you have to justify your actions by the morality, because the common line between the Joker or someone like Ted Bundy or something is a fundamental disconnect from morality.
Yeah.
No, I mean, you can. Ted Bundy straight up said that like he knew what he was doing was bad.
Right, that's the thing. He doesn't care. Like
Yeah.
if you have
Right.
like you have to have that like foundational just not giving a shit. If
Yeah.
you view yourself as being good or evil in
That may
some
be
kind
worse.
of value system,
Yeah.
oh, it's absolutely
Yeah.
worse. But if you view yourself in some kind of value system, then you have to justify by some means. I mean, even Hitler or Stalin or somebody has justification
Right, but
by
they
by some means because
Yeah.
they still view themselves.
yeah, they believe they what they were doing was right.
They believe in good and evil,
Evil,
and
yeah.
those being as diametrically opposed to each other, and a win-lose game. Like
Right.
good is better than evil, so you want to be good.
I don't know if the Joker is separate from that in the fact that he is aware of his antithesis to Batman.
I mean, he's straight up trying to be a villain to Batman.
Right.
Like he knows what he's doing. He
He's trying to
understands his
exist
point
as
of
a
being
foil
villain.
to Batman.
Yes.
He wants to inhabit chaos the way the Batman inhabits order.
And And to break Batman, I mean, some of their most
Right.
iconic points together are him trying to break Batman, make Batman realize they're not that different from each other,
Right.
and to break that hard authoritarian sense of right and wrong in Batman.
Right.
I actually just did a case study in psychology where this guy would go off and have these random,
Fugue states.
basically, and he would go off and do something really bad, not murder someone, but maybe maim. But he couldn't remember that he was doing it, but he was caught on camera. And
Hey, I'm not a
obviously-
murderer.
Yeah.
I just maim people.
I'm just a
It's
mamer.
maim. They're not dead, so it's not murder. And so then he'd go back out of his fugue state to the person he really was, and he had to justify it in his head as in, like, I'm not that person. And then he ended up running out of justifications because he kept doing it, and eventually he did it as the person that he was. So he was like, oh, maybe I do like doing this because my fugue state likes doing this. And so he got caught and then tried to kill himself.
Of course.
Yeah, because he ran out of justification.
Well,
This is completely, like, fake
okay.
case study
Still,
that they do for psychology
That's,
students.
that kind of took
So,
a dark turn.
None of that was real?
No, they do like random case studies based off like
Okay, yeah,
relatively
yeah.
I thought
true
case studies
events.
were about real events.
I mean,
The ones
somebody
that
probably
they-
ended up doing something along those lines.
Yeah,
but
they're based off
they'll,
true
they'll
events,
take
but
fake names, change
names,
different bits of the
relatives,
story,
Okay, yeah.
and
Yeah.
like they'll make it's true relatively.
But unless you technically have your at least a bachelor's in psychology,
Yeah.
you can't do real case
Right,
studies, so
right.
they give you fake ones.
Okay.
I think you have to have a master's here to do it.
Oh, that took a dark turn.
Life is a fucked up mess. Life is a fucked up mess.
Hey, come back on Friday and check out our first Rumble. Like, subscribe, share to all your friends at the Fandom Nonsense channel. Like, subscribe, watch the first word, and we will see you guys next week. Bye.